All right, so this isn't really breaking news, but the 2023 JL Wrangler configurator is online now. So you can go through here and look at the different models. It looks like that the 392 is back again for 2023. MSRP starting at $80,390. But, all of these other models that we've seen for years, they're back again. The high altitude is back. Here's the right-hand drive version for male carriers. Still have your Rubicon, of course, that'll never go away. But look at some of these lower end models. The Sport S now starts $37,365. So what that means is if you ordered a Sport S with no additional options, you didn't add anything to it, just a Sport S as it comes from the factory, and then you tack on your destination fees, your state taxes, and some dealer fees, you're going to exceed $40,000 now for the Sport S. I mean, these prices, they just keep going up. When the JL first came out back in 2018, the price went up, I think, 4 times in that first model year. And of course, every model year since then, the price just keeps going up. Like every 6 months, they jack the prices up on these things. So if you really want a Wrangler, you should probably get one as soon as possible, because the prices are just, especially now with everything going on in the world, prices are just going to keep going on up. So anyway, let's kind of take a look here. One of the new features that we've seen is the snorkel. Let me go down here and show you that. So you see here on the Rubicon, you now have a snorkel kit available from the factory. If you hit more info there, it shows you a picture of it. This is very subjective. Some people don't like it. Some people do like it. I think it looks kind of ugly. It has very much a safari look to it, which is sort of cool, but I don't know. I think maybe they should have rounded it off just a little bit more. It's a little too boxy. It makes it look huge. I don't know. It just doesn't look super proportional to me. But anyway, if you want a snorkel kit that's available from the factory now, it's almost $800. There's no information on here about it yet. It's going to be interesting to see how they market this. I know when Toyota did their snorkel kit, they really advertised it as being for dusty environments. Since your air intake is now up here above the roof line, that's kind of the angle they came at it from. Everybody that I know that has ever installed a snorkel did so because of deep water crossings. If you get into really deep water or really deep mud, whether it's on purpose or unexpectedly, the idea is that your intake is way up here and it gives you more protection from hydrolocking your engine. Everybody I know with a snorkel did so for that reason, but it seems like the OEs don't usually market it that way, probably for liability reasons, but it'll be interesting to see what they had to say about this in future press materials. But that's really the only option on the 23 that looks to be new. You've got price increases here and there across the board, but other than that, no new features, which is kind of a bummer. The big thing that we were really expecting is interior updates, and you can see here it's the same old interior that we've had for 6 model years now. With the 23 coming out, this will be the 6th model year. It's kind of frustrating. The Wrangler typically has a 10-year life cycle, so we are now over halfway through the JL Wrangler life cycle, and we haven't had any updates to the interior at all. A couple years ago, some Jeep representatives on the JL Wrangler forum were asking people what they would like to see. They were saying, hey, if you wanted to change something about the console area of the Wrangler, what would you change? They were asking that question. So obviously, internally, they're looking at some updates to the console area, which honestly I think they need to do, because this is pretty much a worthless console. You can see the front cup holder here. You can't see the rear cup holder because it's down here partially covered by the lid to the bin, storage bin, which makes it pretty difficult to get large drinks in and out of this rear one when you've got a drink in the front one. And there's no storage of any kind. There's a little bit of a pocket change holder, I guess you could say, underneath the parking brake handle. But that's really the only storage of any kind. It's just kind of a worthless console. You do have a little storage in the bin here, but that's it. You know, you compare this to like the 2022 Nissan Frontier console, and it's just night and day difference. I mean, the Nissan console is very functional, and this is not. So that's probably why they were looking at updating this. But when are they going to do it? When are they going to put it into production? I mean, we really thought that 2023 was going to bring some of these interior changes, and we're just not seeing it. Same old Jeep that we've seen for 6 years now. So, really a bummer. I guess positive news is there's still a manual transmission option. You can see 3 pedals and a manual shifter, so that'll make a lot of guys rejoice. That's a good thing. But yeah, I mean, no changes to the interior, no changes to the powertrains, not really any new options. You know, it's just kind of the same old Jeep. You can still see you have the steel bumper as an option. Cold weather group is still there, which is my favorite feature of all. You can still obviously get LED lighting, but daggone, look at the price, $1,600 for LED lighting. You can shop aftermarket, way less money than that. Even if you're buying quality stuff from a place like Headlight Revolution, you can still shop a lot less expensively than that. Extreme Recon package did show back up. It's still $3,995. So I don't think the price changed on that, at least. Unfortunately, the auxiliary switches are now grouped with the trailer towing package. I think this is kind of how it was with the 22 also. This is no longer a standalone option, but I guess it's not a huge deal. I mean, it is nice to have the receiver hitch tube. Even if you're not going to tow, you can use accessories and things like that. So it is good to have. But yeah, I mean, the packages are still pretty much the same. You can still see the same old powertrains. You got the 2-liter turbo engine, still got the Pentastar, which has been around forever now. The turbo diesel did return as a $4,000 option, but you can still get the Eco Diesel Generation 3, which is pretty cool. So again, manual transmission still there. Everything is still the same for 2023. Only new thing that I saw was that snorkel kit. So basically the main changes here for 23 are going to be pricing structure. They love to jack the prices up every opportunity they get. Whether there's crazy stuff going on in the economy or not, they have proven that they love to jack up the prices on the Wrangler. Sort of like that analogy of the frog in the pot of water. If you turn it on and heat it up slowly, the frog never notices, right? If you just slowly heat it up, people don't seem to notice. And I guess that's kind of the way they're doing this. They jack up the prices every 6 months, hoping that people don't notice. But you can see that a Rubicon now, and I haven't even put any options on this thing yet, is $48,000. So they're getting really pricey, fellas. But yeah, I mean, if you want one of these and you're not really caring much about possible updates to the interior in the future, now's the time to get one before the prices continue to go up. As far as colors go, you still got the high velocity yellow. It looks kind of like a goldish or a goldenrod hue on the configurator, but in real life this is very much a yellow color. Of course, the perennial favorite Firecracker Red is back. They still have Hydro Blue, which is my personal favorite. Sarge Green for the military guys is still there. And then, of course, you always have 14 different grays and blacks and neutrals to pick from. So there it is, guys. The 23 Wrangler configurator is online. And again, not much has changed other than the pricing structure. So when are they going to update the Wrangler JL? That is a really good question at this point. 6 model years in with no updates. I mean, they've changed the packages a little bit over the years, and they've added a couple of things like the factory 35-inch tires. Their Extreme Recon package came along, and there have been a couple of little changes, but the vehicle itself has not been updated in 6 model years now, which is kind of unheard of in the industry. So will they update this for 2024? I mean, I think they almost have to. You've got obviously this is an SUV, but it competes against mid-sized trucks too, like the Frontier, like the Tacoma, like the Ranger. People are cross-shopping all of this stuff. And all of those trucks are new or will be new within the next 12 months. Brand new from the ground up. So I think they kind of have to update the Wrangler because they always do the Wrangler before the Gladiator. right? And the Gladiator needs some updates too, so I think they kind of have to update this thing soon. We really expected it for this year, didn't get it, so we're going to be really keeping an eye on 2024 model year to see what happens, and maybe there will be some news on that coming out here in the next couple of months. But for now, 2023 Wrangler soldiers on as it has been, and it's kind of no news, but it is news at the same time. So we'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.